Hello, you beautiful people. Today we're back reacting to another Bleacher Report trade article. So this one's called Playing Trade or Keep with NBA's top trade assets. And as the trade deadline is coming up soon, in about 2 days here, I figure it's a good time to go through and look at some potential trades because honestly, that's all anybody cares right now, and that's what most of the attention's on. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and look at 2 articles just because this first one is a bit short and didn't want to give you guys like that little content for the day. But yeah, with that being said, don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to, and join the Discord in the description to talk about anything that happens at the trade deadline or just anything fantasy or basketball related. And yeah, with that being said, let's just get right into the video. Alright, so first trade potential is Gary Trent Jr. If I'm the Trailblazers, I mean, I'd probably go ahead and trade him, honestly. I know he's a really good player and he fits their lineup, but I'm just thinking like I'd rather trade for like a veteran kind of guy, as like the Blazers' best chance to win a title is with Dame on their team. And while Gary Trent is going to help in the future, I think you just need a better roster around Dame right now and really just focus on your... Okay, so they agree. They think that you should trade Gary Trent. And yeah, I can see reasons for keeping him, but I'd also just really want to trade Gary Trent if I'm the Trailblazers, just to get a more veteran guy. James Wiseman, I think it depends on the return, but honestly, if I'm the Warriors, I'm going to keep him. He's shown a lot of potential, and unless you're getting like a no-brainer, I don't think there's any reason to trade Wiseman. Like, you haven't really seen too much of him. Keep at least until the offseason. Yeah, I'd agree with that for the most part. I mean, you don't really know how the lineup's going to look when they're fully healthy, and I just love to see Wiseman on this team as he continues to develop. Next up, Boston Celtics $28.5 million trade exception. I swear to God, if the Celtics do not sign someone, I'm going to jump off a bridge. Like, please, if we go through another trade deadline with 8 million rumors and we don't sign a single player, I'm going to lose my mind, man. I do not want to see the Tice and Tristan Thompson lineup on the floor for one more minute. Trade. What does that mean? Okay, so we should use it. Alright, yeah, I would agree. Any of these guys are fine. Harrison Barnes or Jeremy Grant, ideally. Or Aaron Gordon. I saw we were front runners for him, so that would just be great. The Celtics really just need someone. I am tired of trade deadlines passing, and we don't trade for anyone, so definitely like that. We should definitely use the trade exception. Tyler Hero. I mean, if I'm the Heat, I'm keeping him, unless you're giving me, like, literally that, like, trade for Bradley Beal would be, like, the only way I would even trade Tyler Hero. Like, I don't really see any reason to move him. He's a really solid young player. I think he is a bit overrated right now, but he has a lot of potential, and I think he could really develop into a nice piece. So what do they say? Keep unless you can get Bradley Beal. So I guess we're thinking the exact same thing on this one. Yeah, he's a really nice young player, but, I mean, if you can get Bradley Beal, then, like, you have to take that opportunity, but otherwise I'd keep him. Orlando Magic, Aaron Gordon. I mean, this is probably like one of the most talked about potential trade targets, and it's gonna be, I think it's like every single team in the league is looking at Aaron Gordon pretty much at this point, and he's just not a good fit on the Magic. They just have a lot of front court depth already, and he's just sort of been playing out of position. I think he'd be really good as like just a 4 or like a backup like small ball 5, but like they've been playing him at like small forward and stuff, and he just really hasn't really been used to the best of his potential, so I'd trade him. Hopefully to the Celtics. Yeah, they agree that we should trade him. You know, usually these articles are kind of whack, but I'm agreeing with them so far. Minnesota Timberwolves 2021 first round pick. I mean, again, it's sort of like similar situation as Wiseman. Like, if you can get a really nice piece, then I'd trade it, but this draft class is looking really stacked. The consensus around scouts is that it's going to be one of the best draft classes that we've seen in a while, so I'd go ahead and keep it for now. Just especially until like you see where the pick actually falls, because it might end up going to the Timberwolves this year and then it's unprotected next year, so I just go ahead and keep it just to see what happens. And they also agree you should keep. And then last one, and this is the thumbnail of this video, it's gonna be Michael Porter Jr. I think he has the potential to be one of like the leading scorers in the NBA. I am like a huge Michael Porter Jr. fan. I still think he's like the best high school player I've ever seen. In his old highlights, when I watched that, this kid did not look like he was playing in high school. He looked like he was NBA ready at that age. And if I'm the Nuggets, I'm giving him another chance, so I'm just going to keep him. And they also agree. Wow, so I think I agreed with Bleacher Report on every single one. That is a first. But yeah, that's going to be it for the first article, so let's just go ahead and move on to the second one. This is 2021 NBA trade deadline deals that would actually shock you. Very clickbaity, but whatever. Clippers at Oladipo, Rockets gain more assets. Excuse me. So we got Victor Oladipo and Sterling Brown for Pat Bev, Luke Kennard, Terrence Mann. Not even going to pronounce that guy's name. That big dude on the Clippers. And then a few second-round picks. This is an interesting one. This would shock me, but The only thing with Oladipo is that you don't know if he's going to want to re-sign. I would imagine he would because the Clippers are title contenders. But yeah, I mean, these aren't guys that are like super important to the Clippers rotation in terms of winning a title right now. And plus it's second round picks, so like who really cares? I mean, yeah, I'd go ahead and make this trade if I'm the Clippers. I'd love to have Oladipo on my team. He can give you that like extra ball handling that you're looking for. Sterling Brown is like whatever, but if you're getting rid of not that many valuable assets to your team right now, like I know Luke Kennard, Terrence Mann have a lot of potential, but they're not super valuable assets to your team at the current moment. So I'd go ahead and make this trade if I'm the Clippers. And then if I'm the Rockets, you already have 8 million picks. You might as well get some second round picks as well. So I like this trade, honestly. That would be a good trade for both sides, I think. Nuggets add an all-star. Bulls get their building block. Do they not already have a building block in Zach LaVine? So the Nuggets get Zach LaVine and Lauri Markkanen. Bulls get Michael Porter Jr., Gary Harris, Bol, and a 2021 first-round pick. These are more interesting trades for sure, but like the Bulls already have their building block. It literally is Zach LaVine. He's been absolutely insane, and I just don't understand why you'd want to rebuild everything you're doing and take a chance on Michael Porter Jr., Bol, Gary Harris. And like Michael Porter Jr. has shown potential, but like so did Zach LaVine, and he's currently reaching the potential. So I just don't see why the Bulls would do this. I think this is pretty stupid of them. They finally have something good. Bulls, please don't screw it up and trade it away. I would not make this trade if I'm the Bulls. And then if I'm the Nuggets, I think I would, just because a backcourt of Jamal Murray and Zach LaVine just sounds kind of unreal, honestly, especially with Jokic and Markkanen. I think that makes their title chances even greater. So if I'm the Nuggets, I'm taking this, but if I'm the Bulls, I am not interested at all. Three-team frenzy. Oh, we got Kemba and Lowry in here. So the Celtics get Kyle Lowry, and we get, oh man, I love Aaron Baines. We get Aaron Baines back. Raptors get Miles Turner, Jeremy Lamb, Aaron Holiday, and a pick. Pacers get Kemba Walker, Terrence Davis, Romeo Langford, and a 2021 first-round pick. All right, so I'll just go through this for all three teams. If I'm the Celtics, I'm getting Lowry and Baines. I'm giving up Kemba, Davis, Kemba, Langford, and a pick. 2 picks. I like Lowry, but I don't know, man. This seems like a lot to give up for the upgrade of Kemba Walker to Kyle Lowry. And I know Kyle Lowry is a better player right now, but we're giving up the pick as well, and Romeo Langford, who has not really shown that much potential, but I still believe in him. So I'm not making this trade if I'm the Celtics. I mean, I do like Aaron Baines. He'd be a good backup big, but we seem to have 8 million backup bigs right now, so I don't think we really need him. Then if I'm the Raptors, I'd make this trade. You're getting Miles Turner, who's a really great defensive player, can stretch the floor a little bit, Jeremy Lamb, and Aaron Holiday, another nice young player. And then from the Pacers, I don't know. Like, you can sort of already have a lot of ball handlers. I don't really think you need Kemba Walker, so I think if I'm going to look at this trade, I'm going to take it if I'm the Raptors, but if I'm the Pacers or the Celtics, I'm probably not going to accept this. And then the last one, Suns chase championship, Magic start over. So the Suns get Nikola Vucevic and a 2021 second-round pick, and the Magic get DeAndre Ayton, Jay Crowder, Jalen Smith, and a first-round pick. This would be an absolutely crazy trade. This would mean the Suns are going all in. They don't want to wait for Ayton to... I mean, Ayton is one of the softest players in the league, man. He is, with that size and that ability, I don't know why he insists on, like, taking the path of least resistance every single time and shooting jump shots over people. Like, if he just had the mindset of, like, Montrezl Harrell or someone, he'd be such a better player, but instead he shoots these soft-ass layups and floaters, faces up, and doesn't really attack the basket. And, like, he's good at making these shots, but if he just got to the line more times, he'd just be a really great player. Like, even better than he already is, and I think he wouldn't be as disappointing as someone who was selected first overall. But, yeah, anyway, back to the trade. If I'm the Suns, I don't know if this really gets you over the hump. Like, I don't think a team with Paul, Booker, and Vucevic is going to win the title, as great of a player as Vucevic is. I think if you add him to the mix, I don't think it's making the jump to a title team, even though they are contenders right now. And especially if you're giving up Jay Crowder as well, who's a solid rotational piece. Jalen Smith, don't really know too much about him. He hasn't really played that many games yet. And you're giving up a pick. So if I'm the Suns, I'm just going to ride it out with Ayton and Booker and Paul. I really like Vucevic. I really hope the Celtics somehow finesse him. I don't think it's possible, but as always, the Celtics fans got to have hope that they're going to trade for someone at the deadline. And yeah, I think that's going to wrap up the video. These trades were a bit more interesting than normal. I don't really like most of them, honestly, but I mean, it's Bleacher Report, and it's hard to make these trade articles, so I'll link them in the description if you want to check them out for yourself. And yeah, with that being said, I want to thank you guys very much for watching the video. Leave players that you want to see get moved at the deadline in the comments below, and yeah, I hope you all have a great rest of your day.